1, and take us away.
Wow, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it kind of has. That's the reason. I'm sorry. The reasoning kind of on why there's been such a long wait is basically just shit happens.
Yeah, that's basically been it. Just the midst of like not being able to record one for just various reasons, and at times just like not feeling like it.
Yeah, like there have been a couple of times like, I've got work tomorrow, or I'm tired, or like like it's just shit happens.
Yeah.
And like the really funny part is we had like. I think we had 2 or 3 options about what we were going to record, and we went completely out of left.
Yeah.
Like an hour before actually hitting the record button.
Yeah, we've been holding up for a while how we'd do Dark Retort. We also mentioned on the end of the last one how we might do Alone in a Crowd next. But, as you can see, instead we're doing Cheer.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
which...
Just, the problem with Gunnar Creek Court is that Martin is really tired right now, and if we were going to do Gunnar Creek Court, we'd probably be up all night.
Yeah, that's going to take a while.
The Gunnar Creek episode is probably just going to be 3 hours of us creaming in our pants.
Yeah. Then Alone in a Crowd is mostly just because at this point in time, I don't really know what I would say about it. I kind of need to give it another look through. There
are very clear problems and very clear strengths with the comic, but there's only so much. It would be hard to stretch out.
Yeah,
and also
I need a little bit more of an in-depth kind of refresher.
Yeah, I had a refresher the other day, but it kind of takes like a moment of like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is we wound up just doing Wotch, Cheer.
Yeah. Okay, we touched on Cheer briefly whenever we reviewed Wotch.
Yeah, this is obviously a spin-off.
Yes.
Which I should closer.
We'll discuss the spin-off subject a little bit further because it is one of the odder things about the comic.
I'm gonna dive right into drawing so I can maybe I can do all 4.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Showing our outline right there on the screen.
Well, I didn't write it down beforehand.
Yeah. It's okay. We usually only half follow that thing anyway.
Pretty much. But this was the Wotch, Cheer.
Yeah. Well, officially it is Wotch Cheer. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Essentially, we went into how one thing that Ann did at a point was turn 4 football players into cheerleaders.
Yeah.
After that point in Wotch, they were just kind of flat extras who occasionally showed up but never did anything.
They would show up in like background characters and just say like whatever like Valley Girl stereotypes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And cheat them and just Cheer decided to take them all like just kind of make them actual characters and just kind of give them all actual like focus.
Yeah, like take them, do a spin-off, like give them all personalities, give them
their own villains, have their own storyline, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and this is, which sometimes for a spin-off, this can go in a very strange direction. But I think here, you could legitimately argue that this might be better than Wotch.
Yeah, we were actually discussing that before we started this, kind of on the issue of like which would be better, which. I think what it boils down to, if saying it right now, is like Cheer usually doesn't get as good as Wotch could at times, but it never gets as bad either.
Yeah. There's Wotch has more good things about it, but it also has more bad things about it.
Yeah.
And we're going to discuss the good and the bad for Cheer. If you want, these are very Wotch and Cheer are very tied together, and we are going to have to discuss. Some of the issues we have with one and not the other, but if you really want a more sort of decisive view on Wotch, you can probably just watch our episode for it.
Yeah, if nothing else, the consequences chapter we talked about a fair bit, we're probably going to need to go into that at the end.
Yes. Which makes sense, because it was one of the bigger complaints that a lot of people had for the show. For the comic.
Yes. Okay, so main task then.
Yes, it's just basically this cheerleader squad and how they handle themselves. We have Alex. Who's sort of a military geek. She's it's really hard to do the pronoun thing here. Given normally for TG characters, I say what they really are.
Yeah.
You know, but
yeah, with them, since only one of them's aware of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Alex, who's sort of like a military, who is sort of the leader of the group. He's carries herself sort of like a military leader, like a general.
Yeah,
which
and
is
she
really
also
funny.
And she also tends to like talk in very like grandiose, like just like overly elaborate ways of speaking. But she also tends to get sidetracked easily, so she just kind of trails off into gibberish.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like mixing two statements together.
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's very funny.
Yeah.
Like a lot like these four are very strong characters. They're very getting ahead of myself. Lita, who is sort of like a tomboyish, muscly. It's really hard to say tomboyish given the TG thing is making all of this so weird for me.
Yeah.
The tomboyish, sort of musclehead of the group, but at the same time, she also plays D&D, which is a big thing
secretly.
for her character.
Yeah. Which, I'll go ahead and say now, the TG being weird and out of place is something we're going to mention.
Yeah, yeah. Sam, who is sort of like the quiet, shy homemaker of the group.
She's also kind of like the heart of the team to an extent.
Yeah, yeah. And Joe, who's this sort of insane, like fun-loving, but also very intelligent and very insightful character.
Yeah.
It was really hard for me to do these last three without making a pony joke.
Yeah.
Because Alex is pretty steadily Alex, but Lita is Rainbow Dash, Sam is Fluttershy, Joe is Pinky.
Yeah. Which, someone was going to discuss the main characters, there are two others we probably should bring up.
Yes, yes. It turns out that there's...
Yeah, I sent you a link so you can bring them up on the screen.
Wait, hey, wrong thing. Oh, wait, was it?
Okay.
No, there we go. Sorry,
all right.
I hit the wrong one. I don't even know how to enter into this part.
Yeah.
That's going to be a problem with the comic in general.
Okay, so essentially these are functionally the main villains, kind of. Like they kind of made it clear from the get-go they're two agents of some mysterious shadowy group that the comic never got around to really showing. But they're also kind of like sub-main characters in their own right. Like they, at a given time, have their own story arcs going on, and they're both kind of portrayed sympathetically, like supposed to be likable.
Yeah, yeah.
And neither of them has an actual name.
They're 32 and what was the other one?
29.
29. Yes, number 32 and number 29. But
yes.
They're just sort of like two sort of secret agents for this shadowy conspiracy organization. One of them is sort of like fun-loving.
29's like the quiet, like studious type, and 32 is one who's impulsive and reckless, but also like very skilled at manipulating people.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like it's a buddy cop sort of. Well, not exactly buddy cop. It's sort of. It's a pairing that you see a lot, but it's not necessarily weaker for it. I think these are two strong characters.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it as that pair to compare them to, like in terms of villains.
Shit. My mind just keeps going to buddy cop movies. I never even like a lot of those. Like, I hate Lethal Weapon. No, not Lethal Weapon. Yeah, Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
That's one with Danny Glover and Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck those movies.
Okay. I think you also don't like Die Hard 3 then.
Are they in Die Hard 3?
No, Die Hard 3 was rewritten from a planned Lethal Weapon sequel.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not...
Yeah, like it started as Lethal Weapon script.
I'm not even going to get into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so yeah, those are our 6 main characters. It's a little bit strange to discuss, but a lot of the plot revolves around... I think I'm going to... I don't know, where do we even start with this? Where's the outline?
Actually, I don't think I... I'll take it a second.
Okay,
I actually kind of... What?
No, you go, sorry.
I said, I actually kind of forgot to outline a place for the plot.
Yeah. Whatever, I'll try it now. 2 major points about the plot. One, this because the characters were not actually TG'd in kind of their own series, and also don't remember the fact that they were, transformed to begin with. It adds a very weird flavor to it. It's sort of like,
yeah, there's kind of this like constant aura of things around them where the characters know something's up and know something's weird about them, but they don't really consciously think about it.
Yeah, it's just like it's like something is nagging at their thoughts, saying like something is wrong, but they don't know what, and almost to the point where. Almost to the point where this would probably be stronger if it wasn't a Wotch parody, because there's something about this that makes it.
Yeah, it would make for a good mystery, especially because they play it that way.
Yeah, it's almost like the fact that they used to be guys is sort of the twist.
Yeah, but it's not because you saw it happen in Wotch.
Yeah, it's like I probably should have made up a list of other like spin-offs that are good that I could have gone with.
Yeah.
Compared it to.
Yeah.
Right now, my mind is just going to Frasier because I've been watching Frasier a lot lately.
Yeah.
I don't even like the show that much.
Okay, so essentially, you kind of have two main legs of the plot.
Yeah.
Okay, you have the cheerleaders kind of just doing typical cheerleader stuff, and kind of in the process slowly running into all the weird things going on in the school.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other leg of the plot, which, that's what it relates to, but they never actually really come together that much.
Yeah.
I'll just say now, the comic's basically functionally dead. So the other leg of the plot basically just focuses on the, grand, conspiracy behind the scenes for this place being run by the organization that 29 and 32 work for.
Yeah. That's which is... an interesting twist is it's some sort of shadowy, mysterious conspiracy organization, but they're doing something with the school. Like the school has some sort of creepy importance to it, which I find.
Yeah, there are implications that they have roots in the town proper, but they make it clear the school itself is particularly important.
Yeah, it's some sort of on some sort of ley line.
Yeah, and back to the characters for a minute. Got that page a second.
Oh yeah. This is a good page.
Yeah.
I mean, something this is one of those great touches of immediately establishing a lot about the characters with very, very little. Just showing them all in bed together.
Yeah. It's instantly you establish a few of their hobbies right off the bat there.
Yeah.
Just in the way they sleep and the way their own the color and stuff, it just instantly tells you a lot about them.
Yeah, it says very much with very, very little, which I've seen a lot of comics that do the exact opposite, and which drives me completely fucking nuts.
Yeah.
It's
personally, we would know because both of us are kind of prone to walls of text.
Yeah. As much as we do the walls of text thing, we try to hold off on it, but being concise, I think is a really great strength for a writer to have. I really admire writers who can do that.
Yeah. On a certain level, I kind of want to rip this page off or something.
I know.
It's just so good, and it's just such a great way to establish characters in a hurry.
Rip off something else. This would work better for blues.
Yeah.
Look at this. This could be a blues page.
Yeah. Do it for Militant Gold.
Fuck Militant Gold. Yeah. But yeah, that now getting back to the plot thing, that was sort of one of the stranger let me look at the outline again. I really should have written this down instead of having to pull it. I could just have it out of paper on the desk instead of. Yeah. It's the main cast. I guess we should probably get into positives. Offhand, the story is very funny.
Yeah. Particularly early on, it's a very strong, one thing I really liked is, kind of right off the bat, it gets you invested.
Yeah. These characters immediately jump out at you. They immediately these four immediately jump out at you. They immediately feel very strong. You really believe the relationship that they have as friends.
Yeah. And they also quickly establish that 29 and 32, just playing things aren't right about them, and, this goes deep.
Yeah. There's some, the mystery does engage you very, very fast.
Yeah. And they kind of make it clear, nobody you're seeing really has all the answers.
Yeah. Which it can be infuriating at points. I've been watching a lot of Full Metal Alchemist lately, and I'm like, no, wait, never mind. They did the exact opposite, which was even worse. But,
Yeah, Yeah. What am I looking to say here? Yeah, right off the bat, it's a very strong opening, or whatever. And from there, they, introduce some more side characters and stuff. Just, initially, it's, like, decent some. Like, let's see, like, you have your, typical, like, stool, rich doll, as it were, or whatever. And, like, even these side characters are interesting.
Yeah. Like, even, like, we talked about in, I think, Shadowbinders, like, kind of the boringness of this sort of, like, just mean girl, Diamond Tiara kind of. Was it Shadowbinders we talked about that in? Because I want to say it was something else.
I know we brought it up in Shadowbinders.
Yeah, because Shadowbinders had a character like that.
Yeah. I can't think of any other contents we've reviewed that really would have grounds to bring it up. Like, it might have helped in Sandra and Wu, but it didn't really have that problem.
No.
Like,
I don't think I even knew that there was a character like that in there.
Yeah, there are a couple. They don't show up that often.
Okay.
Though they do have some actual depth to them.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a mean girl, but there's this kind of like super rich, like ridiculous, like cartoonishly rich character that I think is pretty funny.
Yeah. Granted, it bears mentioning Alice actually is like cartoonishly rich herself.
Yeah, but I kind of like that. I kind of like that they didn't bring that up too much.
Yeah, they don't touch on it that often. It's just like it's a nice little character thing.
Yeah.
It does at least show that, like, you're not evil just for having money.
Yeah. Even the super rich girl isn't really evil. It's just like
exactly. They kind of just very quickly establish she's just kind of spoiled and kind of clueless.
Yeah. But I mean, like not like the movie Clueless, just like just sort of like intelligent and out of touch.
Yeah, like they have to like walk her through getting fast food.
Yeah, that was a funny scene.
Yeah. Alice has the craziest hair in the world.
I know, like that. Like I wanted to bring up the artwork just to talk about that hair because she can murder someone with this.
Yeah.
Just like headbutt someone and like all their guts come out.
Yeah, put her hair up and up against Zoe. See how that goes.
Just like walk into a hair salon and then just like get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I'm not touching this.
This is the review where we bring up everything else we've reviewed, apparently.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
Way too skinny. But yeah.
I think about the only things that haven't come up yet are just showing Misfall. Both those came up whenever we were talking about this pre-recording.
No, we didn't talk about Night Fighter yet.
Okay, well, I think we'd name drop them all by now.
Pretty much. Now, there's probably one thing that we were forgetting, but anyway. But a lot of the characters in the school do feel very nice. Like you feel almost like the school is its own world.
Yeah,
which it
helps that they're working from Wotch's supporting cast, but they also introduce a lot of characters of that sort themselves.
Yeah. Like Wotch, like we said in the Wotch video, it had a really great supporting cast. Like you felt like that city did feel sort of like its own place, but this sort of expanded on it even more so. Like you really like felt a lot of like what was going on in this school.
Yeah.
Like which helped a lot with the mystery aspect because the mystery was like, what's going on, all this. Yeah, what are they doing with the school? Like you have legitimate reason to be freaked out.
Yeah, particularly whenever you see one character who does see something that she shouldn't have seen.
Yeah,
and
it's the mean girl.
Yeah, not the one we were talking about, a different one who kind of does the same thing.
Yeah, just like the Diamond Tiara, like blunt, like horrible, like bitchy, spoiled, popular mean girl. She does like a prank. She's in the gym doing like some sort of really horrible. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Like really mean-spirited prank to the cheerleaders because that's all these people do with their time. Yeah,
and she winds up like being witness to some sort of ceremony or something that you're just like not supposed to be seeing.
And then they like it just ends with like, all the agents come in. They start. They make like a pentagram. It starts glowing. The camera pans up to show that girl, like the mean girl in the rafters, like looking at it, like horrified. And then cut to the next day, like cut to some other characters. The next time that mean girl shows up, she's fucking insane.
Yeah, it's like she's like going around like a trench coat and a top hat, like talking about, not top hat, being like fedora, talking about like conspiracies and how like nobody can be trusted and all the like dark things she's seen.
Yeah. Like it's driven her kind of crazy.
And yet she still kind of does the Libby thing.
Yeah. Like that was like kind of a really great twist.
Yeah. Like the comic is very good about that, of like kind of setting up its characters and then kind of doing some interesting things with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it?
You were saying?
Oh, it sounded like you were about to say something. Yeah. See, no. Professional.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so should we move on to the art, or I don't know? I did try to keep going with the positives for a while, but I'm kind of blanking on like where to go from here on it.
Yeah. I can't think on that much else. I almost feel like I should mention the fucking. I almost feel like I should mention the tripping joke, just because it's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I kind of want to bring that up.
Like, okay, like one of the twists for these two secret agent guys is that like they're invisible. Like they can walk around like in typical. They can walk around in like, not really like in order to do their jobs, like infiltrate the school. Like the organization can make their members invisible. So they can just walk around during school hours and like trip and just do whatever. And number 32 is just like so bored a lot of the time that she'll just walk around the halls of the school and trip people.
Yeah, particularly this one particular person.
Yeah, like just one person, just like whatever. Stick my foot out, trip her. Stick my foot out, trip her. Like every time she shows up, she's tripping all over.
Yeah, and eventually this expands to Wotch.
I know, like they keep bringing it up, like it's a running. It's one of those running jokes that I just love. I love it more than I probably should.
Yeah, it's just the fact that it's done so often. It's like literally every single time Julie appears.
I know, and like there are other times, like with other characters, just like you won't even know that because the character can be invisible to the viewer. It's just like you won't even know she's there. It's just like all of a sudden a character will trip.
Yeah.
I just love it too much.
Yeah. Same. Yeah, the comic does have a lot of nice little like running things, like character moments like that.
Yeah.
Just oh, see, there you go. There's a joke on tripping thing right there.
Yeah. Well, it passed because like you're
yeah.
I know.
My picture lapsed. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it just keeps going, but the whole thing very something.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole comic has a lot of nice little like moments like that, and just like little bits of flavor. Like, okay, here's another thing I do quite like, which this would actually be a nice little way to segue into the art.
Yeah.
Is I like how all the characters have their own like way of dressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like everyone kind of has their own sort of like, you know, Sam. It's like if you see her outside of her cheerleading outfit, she's basically always wearing overalls.
Yeah. Like they do a lot to establish the characters in very strange ways. The characters look, their body language, their expressions, their outfits do really work to immediately help you recognize them, which we've seen a lot of comics like really fail at.
Yeah. Yes, and even their cheerleading outfits, they do make them distinct.
I'd probably say not enough.
Yeah. True, but I mean, there is at least an effort to like give each one like its own little custom touches.
Yeah.
Like they had different cuts around the like neck and chest and stuff, and they had what else? And like one of them has like knee pad while the others don't, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Knee socks.
Yeah, like to probably stand do it a little bit more than they do, but you honestly, for being talked about cheerleaders and like the obvious fan service that might come with that, they don't actually show them with the cheerleading thing that often.
I don't know, like that fast food thing. They were like walking through a fast food joint wearing their cheerleader outfits.
Yeah, but that was whenever they were like stopping there on the way to go to a game.
I guess.
I was saying, like, see, like these pages you've been leafing through here, though, they're not wearing their cheerleading outfits in any of this. They don't just wear them around the school.
Yeah.
Like,
which kind of makes it even funnier that in Wotch they are always wearing them.
Yeah.
Like this is much better about the wardrobe thing than Wotch is.
Yeah.
But yeah, the artwork is really good. Like, kind of the hair thing is kind of my only problem with it, because like I said, Alex could kill someone with that haircut.
Yeah, actually, a lot of the hair tends to just look kind of weird, kind of overly, somewhere between overly detailed and not detailed enough.
Yeah. Anime gone so wrong.
Yeah, like a lot of it's like really spiky and all this, but also like really flat.
Yeah. But the characters do work very well for that aspect. Shit, I think I'm kind of out of positives too.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, moving on to the art as a whole then.
Well, don't know, what else do we have to say?
Yeah, well, let's see. If nothing else, the backgrounds are kind of weirdly inconsistent.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah. Like, sometimes they're, like, nice, clean, detailed, all that. Sometimes there's barely anything there, and sometimes they're, like, so overly detailed that it's also kind of hard to make out the character's net, like, against them.
Yeah, it honestly just feels like whatever the artist felt like doing a lot with this background.
Yeah.
I can think of, like, one background of, like, a park where it was very obviously just drawing a park in his hometown. And so, like, it's way more detailed than anything else.
Yeah. It was like from a hometown, like from Google or something.
Yeah. I mean, like when it is focused, like, it is very nice. It's just like it is strange to consider.
Yeah, I said it can be very inconsistent. Like, which fine. It's just just bears mentioning. The characters also, at first at least, this will come back in a later point. At first, at least, a lot of the character design is very unique, very different. It's like nice strength of the comic. Like, you can generally tell who each given like main character is just by looking at them.
That said, it wasn't until we actually saw Sam in the overalls that we realized how stacked she was.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were saying?
Yeah. Like I was saying, it's just like one nice thing about it is like at least at first, like every given character you can very easily tell them apart and like see a clear difference.
Yeah.
Like, even this little, like, random extra is, like, they look distinct.
Yeah.
Granted, the black and white maybe wasn't the best choice.
No, it looks much stronger in color.
Yeah. And also, it makes it, whenever characters from Wotch do show up, since it is, like, consistently colored comic with very simple art, it can sometimes be kind of hard to tell who's who.
Yeah, like, thankfully they don't show up that often, but sometimes it's like, what the hell?
Yeah, like whenever Anne shows up, it's like it's kind of hard to recognize her.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, Sam apparently has a crush on Robin.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I do not remember that at all. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pissed off that didn't go anywhere. But yeah. Moving on.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the art, like, yeah, I don't know, I think I'm pretty much said all there was to say on the art. See, look at that. That last page had plenty of background, then there's this.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Wotch kind of did the same thing. It was just, like, have background after background after background of nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying.
Yes, okay, so moving along then, I guess we should get to talk about the extension of the whole character thing.
That was kind of the problem.
Yeah, here's where we're gonna kind of start, like, pointing out the big issue with the comic, and this section's probably gonna take a while.
Okay. This is how I describe the comic to my brother. Like, imagine there's a comic about Peter Parker's life at the Daily Bugle. Like, okay, first issue, we meet Peter Parker, the main character, photographer. Then we meet J. Jonah Jameson, the editor-in-chief. Then we meet Robbie Robinson, like Jameson's like put upon like assistant. Then we meet Betty Brant, the secretary. Okay, fine. Then in the next issue, like I'd say 5 issues down the line, all of a sudden we meet Webb Webbingston, like the website guy, Carl Cackler, the copy machine guy, Sam Sporing, like the sports desk guy, the guy I don't know. Do newspapers have weather control guys?
I don't know.
Never mind. It's a dead medium. But like over and over, more people. Like the guy who brings, the guy who gets the coffee, the guy who runs the printing press, another guy who runs the printing press, the guy who affiliates them with the local news station.
Some of the delivery boys.
Yeah. Just more and more people.
Yeah.
Like,
and also on another note, like, okay, going back to where we were talking about the whole My Little Pony thing earlier. Picture of after the pilot where they set up each of the 6 main characters and all that. They team up with that for a while. And then they just then they have an episode with just Applejack and Rarity. Then they do it again. And again.
Yeah.
And, like, pretty soon, you're going half a season before the other characters even show up at all.
I know. It's like, there was this... They started off like this kind of... This partly has to do with the control thing, but this partly has to do with the schedule thing, but
and even before the schedule issues, it was still like
all of a sudden they start focusing on Alex and Lita.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, and they just never drop it. Like those two, it was just those two and no one else.
Yes, it's really abrupt too. It's just they seem to be setting up storylines for everyone all at once for like one given. The talent doesn't formally do chapters, but it more or less does. And okay, so they kind of start setting up storylines for each of them, and the one just involves the 2 of them, and then almost that entire thing is just about the 2 of them.
Yeah.
And then so is the thing after that, and the thing after that.
Yeah. It's like all of a sudden there's like a run-on thing that keeps anyone else from actually showing up. It's very strange.
Yeah, and it's very abrupt. Like, it just kind of happens.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a very annoying, very out of nowhere thing.
Yeah, and then with the constantly introducing characters thing, like. Here's where I was talking about with how, at the time, the art was how distinct, because very soon, like, at a point, it suddenly just starts, like, introducing, so many characters all at once, and quite a few of them do look kind of similar to each other.
Yeah.
Like, the one girl who's just kind of Sam but chubby.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, it looks like Sam wearing a sweater.
Pretty much. Like, it's just out of nowhere, there's this sudden shift for just introducing, like, busloads of new characters.
Yeah, there's a span of, like, over, like, 10 pages, they probably introduced, like, 5 or 6 characters.
I think more than that. I think probably 10.
Yeah.
Like, all introduced sort of at once, which I have a really big problem with for a lot of comics, in like, not just webcomics, but, like, comics in general. Offhand, trying to think. What was the last... Offhand, like, a lot of... I'm going to really show my geek cards here. Offhand, a lot of comics by Jeff Johns have done that.
Yeah.
They just sort of dilute the focus. Like, I feel like a lot of stories are better if you can do more with less.
Yeah, and it's also kind of a weird cascade effect, because initially they just kind of introduce one questionable character.
Yeah.
And then they kind of do it again and again and again. Like, because it kind of starts out with... So I ended up bringing in some, as an extra adding on to this whole point, I ended up bringing in the weird kind of... Okay, how am I trying to put this? It kind of has the same sort of issue that Eerie Cuties has. See, that's another one we did. Where suddenly, like, it won't settle in on a status or, like, let a scene breathe.
Yeah, it's just like we have this new character. We gotta set up a storyline for him. Okay, like we gotta set up a storyline for her. We gotta set up a storyline for her. It's just like you have to sort of trickle these in slowly.
Yeah, and also it like tends to let go of like character dynamics that aren't done yet in a sense. Like, very early in, they break up 32 and 29.
Yeah, like, all of a sudden, they have different positions in the organization.
Yeah, and that's where they introduce 40
Yeah,
as
like
29's new partner. Which 40's okay. It's just she seems kind of pointless, and she just kind of shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's just,
and she's kind of the start of this wave.
Yeah, it's there's just okay. Those legs are way too fucking long, but the sequence is it's just too sudden of a shift out of nowhere, and you really do need time to breathe in a lot of webcomics. Which, yeah, I mean, the slow pace can be really infuriating and really frustrating, but sometimes like this kind of breakneck change is distracting as fuck because no one has any because there's a point in the comic where I kept reading, but I had no idea what the fuck was going on, like at all.
Yeah, and it was a little too soon to abandon some of the story arcs too. I was like, the 29 and 32 breakup is in like the second story arc.
And no, but it's like it's not even that a lot of the story arcs were kind of abandoned. It was just like they were kind of buried.
Yeah. Yeah, that too, but I was like, all at once, you're introducing that, and you're introducing the Weird Alex and Lita, like, romance thing.
Yeah, like, they go on a date, and then suddenly, like, there's just a lot of stuff suddenly happening to them.
Yeah, it's like, there was nothing really indicating this before this date.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have them kind of getting pulled into the magic stuff, even though the other main characters really aren't.
Yeah, it's like, again, like, you have a group of 4 characters, but then all of a sudden, but then like only 2 of them get involved in like the main plot.
Yeah.
Or are even seen at all.
It's kind of like what we were talking about with, again, another reference here, Under a Shive, where it's like how often they would like tell half the cast like, okay, you guys can sit this one out.
Yeah.
It's like how they had the half of the cast that's like, it goes for both comics, really. You have the half of the cast that get involved in do stuff and have their own stories, and the half that anytime something important's happening, they just had it shuffled off to the side.
At least in this case, it's just poor writing. Like, these characters are just sort of ignored by the writer. It's not... In El Guna's Shive, it was just like, no, we're going to have an adventure. You stay here. Like, because that had the feeling like, wow, these people are dicks.
True. Like, yeah, at least in Cheer, it just happens by way of the way things are structured, as opposed to being like literally what the characters are saying, like enforced in story.
I'm really starting to regret what we said earlier about the less is with more, because holy shit, there is so much dialogue in this comic.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Follow your own advice from earlier in Atomic.
What?
I said follow your own advice from earlier in Atomic.
Yeah, the comic is so... it almost feels like it was being written by someone else at some point.
Yeah.
Because, like we said, like, there's a sudden period where, like, everyone is, like, there's...
Yeah, it's an abrupt shift. Like, it's, like, between one story arc and the next, whatever, just everything changes. And it's not even just bringing in new characters that they do. They just, like, suddenly start elevating, like, minor ones, too.
Yeah.
Like, one of its existing supporting characters, as well as a couple from Wotch, just suddenly join the cheerleading squad.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere, it just happens.
Yeah.
Which, okay, they bother to explain most of the stuff like this, like, they explain how each of their parents either didn't notice or hasn't said anything about it to them or whatever.
Yeah.
And all that, but they don't explain exactly how this cheerleading squad exists.
No, they really don't. And almost, like, one thing about Wotch in general is that, like, kind of a running gag is that the town never notices anything. Like, and can just, like, cast magic in front of everyone and nobody will realize it, which, you know, can be pretty funny. And Negima did jokes like that, Buffy did jokes like that, but,
it's a little weirder in Cheer where you do have people noticing things.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, the Cheer sort of starts to imply, like, there's something that has something to do with the school. Like, you know, there's, like, it sort of seems like, you know, there's this shadowy organization, and they have control of the school, and, like, something about it is causing something.
Yeah. it's so yeah, with this character thing, it just like suddenly starts just like for no real reason, not really even doing anything. They just suddenly introduce like one character after another after another.
And these are not like, you know, just side characters either. They are obviously intended to get their own stories and their own plots.
Yeah, there's times where like suddenly having like entire like pages upon pages in a row just centered entirely on these like minor on these completely new characters. We have no idea who they are.
Yeah. I mean, like it is sort of a, oh god, that sucks. Oh wow. Yeah. I'm gonna try to salvage this. Shit.
I like how this started out with I'm going to try to draw all four, and we spent the entire thing on one.
Yeah. Well, I haven't really been drawing. I've basically just been looking through the site. But yeah. Crap.
Also, maybe you should just do them from the waist up, because that make it easier to try to get in more.
Yeah, that's kind of where it starts to suck anyway. So sure. But yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say now.
I'll just use a select thing and cut.
Whatever. It's fine. But yeah. Next. Something. What were we talking about?
Okay. Oh, yeah, right. Talked about. Yeah. Do you want to keep going with the characters, or do you think we kind of communicated it well enough?
I think we need to go on because I don't think we can really express properly like the degree to which the comic did this.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so
I feel like we're doing a bad job explaining it. It's like if you really want an example of like how not to introduce characters, this is a good idea because it's like.
Okay. Yeah, let me try and break it down a little bit more in detail. Like, it's been several years since I've actually read through the comics. It's not working for memory here.
Yeah, I probably read it more like over the course of the broadcast than I have in years.
Yeah. So, okay. It kind of starts off with introducing 40, as mentioned. You know, Agent 40. All right. So you introduce 40, then like right after you introduce.
Oh, I forgot Ming became one of them.
Yeah, Mean Wolf. Yeah, you had Mean Wolfie and what's her face, Shy Girl, to the cheerleading squad, which they were all existing characters already, but still,
suddenly being shoved into it.
Yeah, just suddenly like promoted like semi-main character status, and then you introduce like, you know, like a couple of, like random guys. Then you introduce someone else whose gender was changed. Then you introduce this like random like overweight girl who's like nasty to people. Then you introduce this like, then you start playing at this group of nerds and Wotch, like, you know, playing them up more, doing them more screen time. Then you introduce like this nerdy girl. Then you introduce like this was all happening like right around the same time.
Yeah, it's very sudden bombardment of characters, and you lose.
Then you introduce other agents beyond just the main three.
Yeah, it's like you suddenly don't care at all. Like it overwhelms your ability to give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and introduce Lita's like 10 siblings.
Which was a funny gag. Like when they first go to it, like, you know, all of a sudden there's like, you know, they actually go to visit Lita's house, and then like she's got like a zillion siblings, all with like kind of unique personality. They don't spend too much time on it, so it's kind of okay. But it is just kind of like a funny gag. Like more and more siblings just walk by.
Yeah. And then like 3 or 4 of them just kind of keep showing up.
Yeah. That's
they're not too bad about it, like compared to some others.
Yeah.
Then you have some Wotch characters appearing more often.
Yeah. It's like, it is basically the. I think that's the main reason we wanted to do this, because this is like the perfect example of how you fail in doing character focus and character juggling.
Honestly, that might make for a really good lead in doing Dark Torch, and we're probably not doing it next.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't want to spoil anything, but we have something very special planned for number 10.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Gunnar Krieg is sort of like the perfect example for how to do this, because they introduce a lot of characters and they're balanced out very perfectly. The only example I can think of of where it kind of failed was like that one chapter focused on Renard.
Yeah.
That was kind of like the low point of the comic.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so just Cheer just, like, suddenly, like, within the span of, like, over the course of just, like, this one book, just, like, or, like, this one chapter, just introduces character after character, and, like, elevates all kinds of other pre-existing, like, minor ones, like, major roles.
It's like a dump truck.
Yeah. Like, Lindsay, the rich girl character who didn't deal paranoid, suddenly she gets an elevated role.
Yeah. It's like
having...
There's only so much room on the center stage.
Yeah. Oh, and in the midst of that, you also kind of, like, they just kind of start doing weird, random character dynamics.
Yeah!
Like
how
32 dating Lindsay's bodyguard.
Yeah, it's like stuff weird starts going out.
Yeah. So, yeah, that thing is what really comes to mind, is like, what? Like, yeah, 32 dating that, oh my god, I totally forgot about the slim girl.
Oh, you forgot about those two?
Oh no, I mentioned the chubby one, I forgot about the slim girl.
Yeah, that was a weird, so much of it was so fucking irritating and strange.
Yeah, oh. Yeah, and I said there was the other guy who was turned into a girl and all that. Like, speaking of that, yeah, that around that time is whenever they introduced an element about Joe that just kind of, like, recolors the entire comic in a weird way.
Yeah, like we said, the gag is like Joe. It turns out that Joe remembers her previous life as a boy.
Yeah,
and it's just like, okay, there are so many problems with this.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's we touched on this in the Wotch review too, but which I don't really know why. It's an unrelated comic by a different author.
Yeah, but it's the same universe.
True. And
it ruins, like, it takes, like, so much of this comic takes such a darker turn knowing that.
Yeah, it really does. Like, all her, like, wacky moments, particularly, there is kind of, it does kind of color a lot of, like, the weird stuff she does before that and make you wonder, like, how much of it was an act.
Yeah, it's sort of like, okay, imagine if Pinkie Pie had some sort of, like, I'm trying to think of, like, some... I can't even think of, like, a really good... I keep trying to think of, like, really tragic things to happen to Maude.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if Maude died in a fire when Pinkie Pie was a little girl.
Yeah. When she was in the orphanage.
How the fuck did I not make that joke?
Yeah. But I was thinking more, like, if you put it, like,
Sorry.
Say more as, like, there was, like, evidence as, like, like, the main six felt like something wasn't right about them, and, like, yeah, the world just, like, wasn't the way it should be, and just, like, anytime they really start wondering about too much, suddenly Pinkie just flies into a shtick, and eventually you learn she's doing it entirely because she doesn't personally like the implication of them studying this.
Yeah, like, every time Pinkie started rambling on about cupcakes or sugar or rock candy or what the fuck ever, it was just to distract everyone else from realizing, like, the huge lie that their lives have become.
Yeah, which is an interesting way to take it. It just, like, the comic doesn't really play it for, like, moral ambiguity or anything. Yeah,
like, when you really think about it, like, this, like, okay, maybe you guys should have a conversation about this.
Yeah, because, like, it would be one thing if they showed, like, no signs whatsoever of remembering, but they do.
Yeah,
it's just they don't...
Yeah, they show hints.
Yeah. It's like they can kind of tell something's up and, like, they don't feel right.
Yeah, like, but, honestly, if you were to redo the comic, this would be a really good comic to, like, kind of get relaunched and redone.
Yeah, honestly, I think it would make for like, some of the stuff in it, like, explored further and, like, taken away from Wotch.
Yeah. It honestly feels like it would kind of be better if Wotch wasn't around.
Yeah, and if you played it as more of a mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would, yeah. But, so she gets, like, tied into, like, with this, like, other guy who, this other girl who used to be a guy who also fully remembers it, but has the thing of, like, being completely erased from history.
Yeah, like, nobody, like, he used to be, like, a track star and, like, had the student body, but, like, now nobody knows who he is.
Yeah.
And and they play this pretty dark. I mean, like, there's a scene where he used to be a track star, so he like goes to the track and he tries to run, and like he like sort of trips over his own feet because of, like, his new body is different. It's like and like you're seeing these visuals, but over it is like the sports narration from like when it was happening. It's like, it is dark as fuck.
Yeah, it's like that kind of thing is more what the comic should have been, I think.
Yeah. If they had gone on and sort of,
like, I think it should have just been that sort of thing, but with the main cast.
Yeah. Like, they should have really. Oh yeah, here it is. They really should have milked this idea for being for like how dark and twisted this probably could be.
Yeah, and they the idea in this kind of goes back to like the weird character relationships thing, because it's like. Because Joe doesn't seem to see it that way entirely.
Holy shit, hang on a second. The guy that we mentioned, like, he got turned into a girl and got erased from history.
Yeah.
One, like, little weird twist was that he like, in his old life, he was black, and now he's a white chick.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
But, like, I'm just realizing that's kind of funny, because, like, in Wotch, like, the comic, there are 0 black people.
Yeah, there's, like, one black extra appears in, like, the first chapter.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah... They didn't just erase this guy, they erased all traces of black people in that entire town.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Maybe Tandy's in Alabama.
Oh, God. Yeah, that sucks.
Apologies to any racists in Alabama.
Yeah, the whole comic, like, there was some point we were going to make before this.
Yeah. Like I was saying, like, Joe doesn't seem to entirely see it that way. That's the weird part.
Yeah, because it's like what we said in Watch. It's like, you probably should tell people about this, because when you really think about this, this is actually really horrible.
Yeah. She just kind of seems to just be like, hey, fuck up, guy. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird, and the comic doesn't really seem to play it like it entirely understands just how, like, dark this character comes off in light of this kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's like, they still want her to be, like, happy-go-lucky and all that stuff, but once you drop this...
Yeah, because, like, right after that, you didn't like the scene of her, like, dressed as a detective storming around with a squirrel or something.
Yeah.
Like... Just, like, yeah, I don't know, it's... I find it kind of funny we kind of accidentally moved on into that one point about the whole gender issues thing. But yeah, in general, the comic seems like it'd be a lot better if it weren't connected to Wotch.
And also if they honed in their focus.
Yeah. I forget how Joe even ended up on crutches.
She, like, there was a thing, like, they were being attacked by goblins and she had to jump off.
Right.
Yeah.
I forgot she was ever actually involved in any of the action, because usually she wasn't.
No, that was like the last time for her. But it's so much of it. I can't even get into it. But yeah, it's just so much of this wrecked so bad.
Yeah. Which, granted, I don't know. Have we kind of already reached one conclusions, or should we keep going? I
don't know. Like, what else do we even have to say?
I didn't think of that much else. I think we kind of covered it all.
Yeah. Like, it's Again, the character thing is the main reason that is probably the main reason why we want to talk about this, because it did really just take the comic and completely ruin it.
Yeah, in 2 different ways. One, in kind of moving away from the group dynamic to just focusing on 2 of them.
Yeah.
And also breaking up 29 and 32, because they still did scenes together, but they were a big part of what makes the early stuff work.
And also just like, no, that's too Erica-y. But yeah, too much of the it's just too much of the comic was too, like, even then, like, it was so focused on the new characters that you totally wrecked, like, what little you have, even Joe and Alex and Lita, who were still showing up, didn't get enough focus. It felt almost like you were kind of drowning.
Yeah.
Which I can say about a couple of other webcomics.
Yeah, the comic got genuinely hard to follow. It was doing so much at a point.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, so that's really the kind of the big things with it. It's like, would I recommend it? On the whole, yes.
I'm kind of just recommended on the basis of like, yeah, this is how this see it just to see like how it failed.
Yeah.
Which feels like so mean because like the first parts of it are so good.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I would recommend, if nothing else, reading up until like the election arc, like genuinely.
Yeah, the election arc was pretty good.
Yeah. I was saying up until it.
Yeah.
I'm saying up around the election arc is whenever they really start to go nuts with that.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't even know how the election arc paid off.
I remember 32 like getting on stage and like I'll probably reach it soon. Like 32 getting on stage and like beating up like some sort of hooligans that another pair of characters that they had introduced of like these two like sort of street hooligans who were inexplicably friends with Joe.
Okay then.
Yeah.
It's like, see, what does that resolution have to do with anything?
Nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, this was a weird one to talk about, but I just really wanted to discuss it.
Yeah. I wonder when the next time will be that we do a spin-off.
I don't know, are there even really that many spin-offs that we've even read?
Not really. It's like the only
Black
other
Princess?
one. Maybe. The only other ones I can think of that I've read are Venus Ascending, which I don't want to do, and Drop Dead Gorgeous. I haven't read the comic it's a spinoff of.
The closest thing I can maybe think of toward a spinoff was MS Masterpieces.
Yeah.
Which was kind of MS Paint Masterpieces, which was kind of sort of a spinoff of Bob and George, but not really.
Yeah.
It's like honestly, it's probably a lot better than Bob and George. Yeah. Like if I were, I should probably recommend that to you instead. But fuck it.
Yeah. Honestly, the ultimate conclusion I have on Cheer more than anything though is like, somebody please rip this idea off.
Yes. Like I'm realizing that more and more as we've done this podcast. Like there was so much that was good here.
Yeah, and I wanted answers to all these mysteries it was setting up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want them to not do that Joe thing. I want them to do it and play it dead straight.
Yeah.
And go into all the horror of that.
Yeah, because that premise, like this super, like, you know, this transgender thing, but something really horrible is happening. Like, there's something so twisted about it.
Yeah. And here's another place where I think it kind of fails on the whole Wotch thing.
Yeah.
Is that typically in something like this, you would assume the conditions are related or something. In this case, though, we know that they aren't. Like, we know that their condition is not related to the central mystery.
Yeah, that does kind of ruin it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that, like, it would be really forced to tie them together.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, because we know exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
Seeing you going through these pages here, this storyline seems completely incomprehensible.
It really does. It's just like, it's just a case of just shit is like tripping over people.
Yeah.
There was actually an issue of Ultimate Spider-Man that was kind of like this. It was just like all of these people, like, you know, I think Spider-Man, the Punisher, Daredevil, and Moon Knight. And I think not Iron Fist, but like all of them going after like this one mob boss, like in the same day, and like all kind of tripping over each other. It was honestly really funny.
Yeah.
Although like it's like kind of really funny, and then at the very last minute, like the Punisher shoots a cop, like a dirty cop.
Yeah.
Just murders her in front of everyone else, and then it's just like, wow, that got dark really suddenly.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, like you could just kind of, because that, it's still kind of funny because that's Peter's reaction. It's just like, wow, shit.
Yeah.
This was fun until that happened.
Yeah. Also, if you couldn't tell, there's a lot of like useless filler in this.
They're really, like, I am amazed by how much useless filler is in this.
Yeah.
Like, flipping through, it's like, holy shit, this has to be like half the content.
Yeah.
Like, bare minimum, it's a third.
Yeah, and if it weren't clear, like, from the way we've been talking, one, the content's dead, and two, the scheduling was pretty bad.
It was really bad. Like, several months would pass before anything happened for a while.
Yeah.
Which we're kind of of the opinion that if you... We see a lot of comics that will update, like, once or twice a year.
Yeah, kind of my opinion on that is just, like, if you can't... I understand that real life comes up and you have problems, and, like, you might need to take a few months break or something. If you can't get out a page at least, like, once a month or something, like, so long as you don't have some sort of personal crisis going on, you probably should just wrap it up.
Yeah, because it's just... It feels really mean to say because we actually, we totally understand that life happens.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like if you were going like 8 months between each page or something, you can't have that much of a reader base or anything. You probably aren't that committed to the idea.
Yeah, you just need to quit.
Yeah. So, but anyway, point is, so Cheer's basically functionally dead, which honestly, I would like to see more of it.
Honestly, on looking at these pages, it feels more like the creators like to just enjoyed like designing characters and not actually writing them.
Yeah.
Like just like, oh, I designed this character, I'm gonna work her in. I designed this character, I'm gonna work her in. I designed this character, I'm gonna work her in.
Yeah, which is something we complained about in Alguna Shive. It just didn't come up as often there.
No. At least Alguna Shive was like subtle compared to this.
Yeah, at least there, typically, it was like this character shows up once and then winds up important later because he wanted to draw them again.
Yeah. It's not consistent and ongoing, and this is just a problem that we have with a lot. It's lack of focus and pacing, I think, are the two biggest problems we have with a lot of comics.
Yeah. Yes, on the whole, though, I'd recommend giving it a look both for the good and the bad.
Yeah, I'd say more so for the bad, because I think it is the most triumphant example of how to fuck up character focus.
Yeah. And plus, the initial cast is still quite likable. Like
like the first, like, I forgot.
Maybe not Lita, because they do kind of make her kind of insufferable. Like,
yeah, you know how Rainbow Dash can kind of be kind of a bitch. Yeah.
Like, picture that if she was crushing hard on whichever one Alex would be.
Yeah. I mean, like, and you know she's gay, so it's not that hard to believe.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, it gets a little weird, because they, like, kind of work it where, like, she gets, like, weirdly, like, blaming Alex for not returning the affections, even though it's, like, clearly not a compatible orientation here.
Yeah, it's just, like, imagine, because what happens is, like, they have, like, in order to raise money for, like, the cheer squad, they have a date raffle.
Yeah.
Not quite an auction, but, like, which probably would have earned, like, a shit ton more money, but just, like, a raffle.
Yeah.
And so, like, and she actually bets on, she actually puts her name in to try and get Alex for a date without telling her first.
Yeah, which nobody else did.
No, actually, someone else stole all the other ballots, like, independently.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, without telling her, which is a pretty dickish thing to do, just like, it would have been a lot nicer if you had asked instead of, like, somehow strong-armed her into dating you.
Yeah. And then whenever Alex obviously doesn't go along with it, just kind of gets weirdly, like, blaming her and, like,
yeah, it's just like, she's just like, we're friends, I don't know why you're doing this, and he's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we done way off topic here.
We really have.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be doing.
See, as we're looking through stuff, we're remembering more stuff to talk about.
I know, because, like we said, just read the comic, because there's so much failure in, like, it's so close but so far.
Yeah,
and
that's
holy
the thing.
Fuck,
it's
this
like,
Dungeons and Dragons storyline went on forever.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
So yeah, the comic is like, that's the thing. At times it's really good, and at times it's really bad.
I know. It's just like, as it goes, it just, like, gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
My God, does this ever fucking end?
I literally don't think it did.
Oh, jeez. Okay, also one thing that's kind of funny is that this is long after I stopped reading, which was, and this, oh, holy shit. Okay, we get Okay, never mind. This is long after I stopped reading, and these pages are coming out in 2009. So I literally have not read this comic since before I was in college. Like, this is really old. I feel kind of bad that if you're watching some of the guys that have requested that have sent in requested comics, we particularly Jackdaw and the Flood. Yeah, we do really want to do you guys. It's just this was sort of on our list for a while. I looking at how old this is, I kind of feel bad that we're doing it before you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, but I thought it'd be an interesting thing to talk about at least.
Yeah, especially because of the failure aspect, which I feel is definitely the most interesting thing about it.
Yeah, which that's certainly not to say there's not any good there. There's a lot of good there.
There is good in it. I think. Yeah, the stuff at the beginning with the 4 cheerleaders does work.
Yeah. And whenever they get close to that ideal again, it works well. And the comic does have some really good ideas to it. Yeah. It just tends to be a little too lost in just whatever the artist wants to do instead.
Yeah, you just need some sort of editor.
Yeah, and also I wouldn't have had it related to Wotch.
No. Offhand, I actually feel a lot of works, not just webcomics especially, but a lot of works would just be better if there was just... What the fuck is this? If at some point, if there was somebody on hand to just punch you in the face whenever you started coming up with a bad idea.
Yeah.
How much better do you think The Last Airbender would have been if every time M. Night Shyamalan what if we have a scene where Zuko asks a little boy about his past? Shut the fuck up!
Yeah. You think it'd be a good idea to tell Korean people to wear kimonos because that's supposedly their traditional stated dress?
Kick them in the balls, right in the balls. No. Have a copy of the complete series on DVD ready to throw at their heads at a moment's notice.
Yeah. See, I figured where you were going with this was how a lot of things that are rooted in even source material or something should not be.
Yeah,
because this is kind of the X-Men to Wotch's Marvel universe. The ideas don't fit together.
Yeah. That's one position we've had for the X-Men for a long time. Is the X-Men is a really great story. I like them a good deal. They really don't work in the larger Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Honestly, some of the better interactions are ones that point that out. In Avengers versus X-Men, there's a really great scene where Scott is giving shit to Captain America, saying "Oh, boo-hoo! There was a superhero registration act. Oh, boo-hoo! Superheroes are you're worried about the Phoenix. Guess what, asshole? You've had mutant registration acts that we've been fighting constantly, and our species is now on the brink of extinction. Go fuck yourself." It really doesn't work in terms of the larger universe.
Yeah, and that's sort of the same thing here. It's just Cheer, I think, to be a stronger story if you did the mystery thing better, and in order to do that, the Wotch relation shouldn't be there.
No. I think, talking about the X-Men thing, what was it Honest Trailers said about the X-Men? It's just in a world where people cheer for Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and the Fantastic Four, those same people will inexplicably hate the X-Men. Because there's a big difference between superpowers and mutant powers.
Yeah. We've drifted way off topic here.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's alright.
Well, we kind of do that toward the end anyway, and we've been going for... We went over an hour by... We're at 1 hour...
I think we've been... What?
We're at an hour and 9 minutes.
Okay.
Which is funny, because we picked Cheer because it would probably be short.
Yeah. Not too short. I'd feel if I tried to loan a crowd right now, it would be about 15 minutes.
Character focus is bad. Shut.
Yeah. They did, based on how Cheer went, probably would have gone under looking through it while talking about it and come up with oh yeah, I hated that part. Oh yeah, that part was fun.
Yeah, I actually flipped through the entire comic.
Yeah.
I did not think that was going to happen.
Which should go to show that there aren't actually that many pages of it.
There really aren't. I really hate when the URL does the date, because now I can't count.
Yeah, especially in a comic like this.
Yeah, yeah.
There's an archives page.
There's an archives page, but it's a date, but it's sorted by date.
Oh. I didn't know if maybe it happened to be numbered there.
No, it's not. Oh, wait. No, it is not.
Yeah.
I don't even think the archive page is complete, is it? Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Okay, it's sorted by... It's sorted by chapter.
Okay.
Oh, fuck, this sucks. Okay, I could probably jury-rig something up to figure it out. Yeah. Yeah, this was one of the biggest missteps in I could probably count them like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of missteps, this is a pretty big one.
Yeah. I said that's not to say there's not good at it. There most certainly is, and like I would, on recommending it, it's both like because of and in spite of its problems. Like,
yeah. Because like we were having the conversation. Like, I don't know. Do you still like having done this little like sort of semi read through? How do you stand on the Wotch versus Cheer aspect? Do you think Wotch is better, or do you think Cheer is better?
I would say I'd have him down in the same place where I was, where it's like a larger quality of Wotch is good than like a larger percentage of Wotch is good than a percentage of Cheer that is good.
Yeah.
But Cheer never quite gets as bad as Wotch can be.
I don't know. I think.
Actually, toward the end there, it looked like it kind of did.
Yeah, it's just like as bad as Wotch could sometimes get. I never had trouble following it.
Yeah,
which is kind of my main point. Like, I lost track of what the fuck
I don't know. I tried to look through the that Wotch storyline with like some thief or something. That chapter was completely incomprehensible.
Which one was this?
It was like one fairly recent one from a couple years ago.
Well, okay. After like the start of season 3, it got pretty shitty, but it was good for way longer.
Yeah. And yet at the same time, like Wotch is a pretty, it's kind of a pretty generic idea that didn't aspire to much.
Yeah.
Cheer really tried stuff and had serious potential.
Yeah, it really did, which makes it all the sadder.
Yeah.
This is a weirdly negative review.
Yeah, it's not really intended to be. Like, honestly, I don't know. Honestly, I think most of what we said was positive. It's just coming down on kind of a sour note.
Yeah, I know. Well, like the comic.
Yeah.
I feel really bad.
Honestly, I kind of legitimately recommend it.
Yeah.
I would kind of say check your expectations, get any answers at the door, and also at the start of the election, you have to know what you're in for. But at least for the start of it, yes, I genuinely recommend it.
Yeah, because this, yeah, I kind of do too. Both more for the good, but more for the bad than the good. But the good is worth seeing.
Yeah, and like I said, somebody please rip this off, like shamelessly.
Please do. This really does deserve just take it out of this guy's hands and do something better with it.
Yeah. And that's not any disrespect to the author or anything either. It's like, he had scheduling problems. He seemed to just want to have some fun with it. Fine.
It seemed like, judging by the filler, it really seems like he really didn't know what to do with a lot of it.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it.
Like, it seemed like his attention, he really legitimately did not have the focus to do this.
Yeah, but between the art and the writing, I do think he's a talented guy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. Like, I'm kind of curious what he's doing now. If someone tweets this to him, like, get us like a shot of like whatever his DA page or wherever the fuck he is now, because I want to see.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the jokes, like even looking through the archives, like a lot of the jokes are really funny. Like the tripping thing stands out, but just so much of like the four of them together was so very funny.
Yeah, and same for 29 and 32. It's just like I really like their relationship.
Yeah. Like we said, it's something we've seen a lot before. No nonsense guy and jokey girl, but like they are very funny together, especially since there's no moment it's just like 32 eye roll.
Yeah, I like that. Even though he can kind of show to be like maybe a little maybe a little bothered by some of her eccentricities. Never really that much, and they make it clear that the two of them like legitimately care about each other.
Yeah. It's like he's sort of annoyed by her being so eccentric, but at the same time he kind of likes her for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's not always centered. Like, she can be quite serious.
Yeah, yeah. But also like some of the stuff she does is just like legitimate. Is like legitimately really weird. Like, there's a part where they murder the principal.
Yeah.
Like where like the principal of the school is like in on the conspiracy, and he's just like, I'm not going to follow you anymore. And so they like straight up just kill him, which is like pretty dark.
Yeah, she kills and replaces him.
Yeah, no, she doesn't mean to replace him. Like,
I know, it's just she does it she does it when she gets caught.
Yeah, it's like she murders him, and then like everyone walks in. Like there's like a smoldering crater where the principal used to be, or like a wisp of smoke. There's like, who are you? I'm the new principal. Yeah.
It wasn't even new. She was trying to pass herself off as the same person.
Yeah.
It's she's using the same name and just like, you're the principal who's been a man for 30 years. Like, yeah, that's the one.
Yes. I had some work done in the 10
Actually, not even that. She's just acting like everyone's stupid to even ask.
Yeah.
Just,
yeah, it's like that's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, we are really. So yeah, I can't think of anything really left to say.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clear right now.
Pretty much.
I don't know. It seems like we could probably keep going on this for another hour, just reminiscing about random stuff.
Yeah. She really did come out look too Erica-y.
Yeah.
That's because I guess you can't see the tits, but yeah.
Well, if nothing else, we could probably quickly redraw it into art of Alex and Laura next week or something.
I actually really like this. I'm sorry. Yeah. So yeah, I guess we're good then.
Yeah.
All right. Like we said, for the 10th one, which we're going to have to do whenever we get a chance.
It hopefully will not be as long of a wait.
No. We like shit was happening. Like we couldn't record for like a solid week. Like we just like there was like a situation where like we just couldn't do it. I had some family stuff, and then like for a lot of other times, like my schedule this week for work has been really fucked up. I'm like, I'm working graveyard shifts, and then I have to do a drug administration class during the day, and then I'm back on the night shift, and like,
and plus there's just been nights whenever we just haven't been able to find the time for it. So we can't only do this dead of night under certain conditions.
Yeah. Like even did I kind of guilt trip you into this tonight?
Nah, it was more. Nah, I don't really think so. It was more just like we've both been wanting to do it for a while, so I just wanted to go ahead and go through with it.
Yeah. Plus, also because like I don't know, like there's like kind of always because like we can only do under certain conditions things. There is always like a sort of a question of like when can we do this again?
Yeah, it's like we probably wouldn't get a chance for at least like another week. It's been long enough.
Yeah. But yeah, like we said, we've got something very special planned for the 10th one, which we're going to discuss then. And it's not going to be our own comics, like.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be anything like that. Like, we're not reviewing our own comics most likely.
No.
If we want to do that, we'd do another retrospective, which we really should do.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first one.
Yeah.
Like the only way I could see us actually reviewing our own comics is if we did like some sort of April Fools or joke or like self-slamming sort of thing.
Yeah. I said even then it'd be kind of pointless with the retrospective thing.
It really
just
would
do
be.
that.
Because like we slam ourselves enough in that anyway, especially the fucking artwork.
Yeah.
But yeah, the original, like I said, I really want to do Jackdaw and the Flood, which were both requested comics. We got the authors like wrote into us and asked us about, and they both look really good. I flipped through them both. I think they're going to make really good episodes.
Yeah.
But also on the list we have Gunner Creek Court. I don't know. Do you still want to do Alone in the Crowd? I
do, but I just I would need to look through it first. I just haven't felt like doing so.
Yeah.
There are a few other comics we kind of eyed for trying eventually, but nothing really.
We've got a list somewhere.
Yeah.
Nothing is as urgent as those four I just mentioned.
Yeah, it's those four besides the 10th one, will probably be like our next ones. Like you're probably not like outside of that path unless we like do something this time where like we did this time where we just threw in a random thing on top of it.
Yeah,
like you're probably not getting anything besides those 4 up until the 15th.
It really was just like, do you want to do Gooner Creek Court? Well, it would like if we did Gooner Creek Court, we'd be up all night. Alone in a Crowd, we'd both have to reread it. Cheer, yeah, because we remember Cheer pretty good.
Yeah.
And it was like short, and it was well, I'd say short. It went way longer than we were expecting it to, mostly just because we're talking at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's good. Yeah. If I can actually find the guy who wrote this, I probably will try to send him a link to it.
Yeah.
I think we're good then.
Yeah, seems like I'd really like to know something here, real quick, that I mentioned.
Yeah?
I'd really like to know why the old URL of cheer.thewatch.com redirects you to, like, some random generic site. Like, how does that even happen, a redirect within, like, a site that itself is still active?
I don't know, like, the wiki for what, okay, yeah, that doesn't work. I don't know, like, a lot of, like, the side stuff for Wotch doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Like those little links on the... Actually, hold on, though. I gotta check this out. Where is it? Okay. Nope, it's gone forever.
Yep.
Yeah, we used to make, like, a lot of submissions on the Wotch used to have a choose your own adventure section, which we made a lot of submissions for.
Yeah.
I guess there goes that RPing option.
Yeah. Saying, yeah, that's been down for like 3 years now. And yet, there it is, URL still on the site. They've redesigned the site since then, but still kept it.
Well, like we said, they've reached the point of updates where they should probably just it can be considered dead.
Yeah.
Like I don't even get why a lot of people still pretend to still keep going, because it's just it would be for the better if they stopped.
Yeah. But hey, if you I still check Venus Envy periodically, so there you go.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd Watch is more relevant than that.
Certainly is, yeah. At least have a bigger impact.
Yeah, hold on a minute here. Okay, I found something like okay, yeah, I found it as a DeviantArt page.
Oh shit, cool. Like, can you get a link?
Sure, one second. He was last on 3 hours ago, so yeah, it's still active.
Huh. Okay, cool. I'm gonna. Maybe the guy will like it. I don't know. Some of the responses we've gotten from the requested comics we've done, and also some of the people who have requested comics, like they seem like the nicest fucking guys.
That's one. Yeah, we have been fortunate to like not get anyone yet who's done like, God, how dare you? Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's one reason I really want to do more requested comics, because like even like when we do criticize comics, like we never try to be unfair, and I think everyone seems to realize that.
Yeah, which I would like to issue one little thing real quick, relating to that, just to be fair here, on Shadowbinders. Whenever we were talking about the schedule being unclear, we should have paid a little bit more attention because it does have a set schedule.
Yeah, we were wrong about that. That was legit, and he pointed like he sends kind of like an email.
Well,
like
she actually, yeah.
Oh, she. Sorry. Oh, fuck. Now I feel like a real asshole. But yeah, she sent us an email saying, you know, what everything was, like, just kind of like not like how dare you, but kind of like just responding to some of the things we had, and she pointed that out, and like she said like, yeah, I actually did take issue with this one because you were wrong, and like yeah we were wrong. That sucked.
Yeah, it's like one of those things of like just art I've been in we didn't quite notice. There wasn't any like banner on the side or anything pointing it out, but yeah, we made a mistake.
Yeah. Also, one thing that we actually found was kind of funny is like we mentioned that one of the characters like had glasses when he was a kid, but then as an adult didn't, and this was in the fantasy world, so we were making jokes like, oh wow, this fantasy world must have laser eye surgery or contact lenses, and then she actually wrote back saying like, Actually, if in some cases, if you wear glasses as a small child, you won't need them as an adult. And like,
yeah. Actually, to be fair, I should have thought of that because I wore glasses in kindergarten and then never since, and I have perfect eyesight.
Huh? Neat. I've never.
Right, I didn't wear them because of eyesight problems. I wore them because of headaches.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Weird.
Which I kind of think I'm starting to get again. I'm very light sensitive.
Yeah. Aw.
Yeah, like light makes me nauseous, but whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not nauseous, but yeah, like light makes me like dizzy.
Come try my job at some point. Like everyone at like the head office of where I work is just.
Yeah.
Oh Christ! They keep there's like they have the like it will be blindingly bright outside and they'll have the windows open. They insist on having like the fluorescent lights on.
Yeah. For what it's worth, looking through his DeviantArt gallery, it appears he does still draw stuff related to cheer.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah. Like, quite a bit.
We really should have quit.
Yeah, we should have. Hey.
It's just...
It's like how we came in saying, like, yeah, we'll probably keep this short, like, probably under an hour, and then just keep on going and going.
It's just like... I just won't press the fucking button.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, let's just call it wrap there. Like, we'll put the link to his DeviantArt page in the comments, and yeah.
Yeah, and as always, there'll be a link to that. There'll be a link to the actual comic itself, so you can check that out. Our own comics, because we're whores. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks everyone, so much.
Nah.
Good night.
Yeah, there's.
Oh, wait.
Bye. I was to say there's. I wonder if I should even mention at this point if I just dragged it out further. That one random extra on that Wotch page you have up on there looks quite a bit like a Steven Universe character.
Which one?
Like this like supporting character who like works as like cashier.
Huh. I mostly just like it because of that great shot of Ant's butt.
Yeah.
Anyway, pressing the close button.
All right.
Bye.
See you and hope you enjoyed this ridiculous ramble.
Yes, indeed. Good night.